How you doing, YouTube? This is Gunner Restarting 67 bringing you another YouTube video. Today's YouTube video is going to be on, is the United States about to have a SHTF Dark Winter Event? Alright, let's go ahead and get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so here in the news over this week, the Washington Post posted an article that basically it says nation at risk of winter blackouts as power grid remains under strain. This was actually published on November 8th of this year, and they're basically citing a report that came out from the North American Electrical Reliability Corporation, and this is the federal entity that is charged with oversight of all of the different power grid functions and corporations that allow us to receive our utilities, our electric, our water, our sewage, things like that. The North American Electric Reliability Corporation governs all of that. So this is actually kind of a pretty big deal when this federal agency is putting out this type of warning. I'm just going to go ahead and read this verbatim, and then we'll kind of discuss the aftermath of this. The nation's power grid faces a sharp risk of buckling in the event of major storms or prolonged cold snaps this coming winter, according to the regulator that monitors the electrical system and much of the country threatened with outages triggered by severe weather. A sweeping portion of the country that extends from Texas to the Canadian border is not adequately equipped for tough winter conditions. The North American Electric Reliability Corporation warned in a forecast released Wednesday. The report is a sobering assessment of a power grid that continues to fray and suffer from underinvestment, despite promises by politicians and regulators to shore up following deadly blackouts in recent years. What the Washington Post is citing that winter blackout in, I think it was 2021 in February, when Texas's power grid, they had that massive winter freeze, the 1 in 100, 1 in 200 year winter freeze, and that power grid was literally minutes away from failing. And the electrical grid employees and supervisors and the corporations had to shut down the natural gas that provides all of the ability to heat individuals' homes in Texas. So let's continue. Much of North America is at an elevated risk of insufficient energy supply this winter and is highly exposed to risks of emergencies and extreme winter conditions. The regulator known as MERC, that is the North American Electrical Reliability Corporation, said on a cell call with reporters, "We've seen the system become more vulnerable to winter conditions," said John Mora, Director of Reliability Assessment and Performance Analysis at MERC, or as you were, NERC. For decades, the system has been built and planned around summer peaks. Major concerns is the potential for disruptions in natural gas generation as power plants and infrastructure that delivers fuel to them are destabilized by the strain of extreme cold. It is the pattern that played out last year during Winter Storm Elliott, which resulted in cascading outages throughout the eastern United States just before Christmas. In Texas, where lawmakers vowed to fix their grid after dozens of Texans died during the prolonged blackout triggered in severe winter weather in 2021, the grid remains unstable heading into the upcoming cold season. NERC warned the state, where voters Tuesday approved a sweeping plan to fund more power generation, is at higher risk of energy shortage this winter than last because it is not bringing enough new power online to meet the state's surging demand, and its exiting infrastructure has not been adequately weatherized. Similar challenges plague states north of Texas, according to the report. The regional grid that serves 15 states from Arkansas to Wyoming will be operating with significantly lower backup energy reserves than last year as the result of some power plants coming offline and demand for electricity in the region increasing. NERC officials warned that while the region has the resources it needs to make it through a normal winter, extreme cold weather can result in shortfalls that can trigger energy emergencies. New England, meanwhile, is struggling with its own natural gas infrastructure issues that create a threat in that region, the report found. In a number of mid-Atlantic and southeastern states, the demand for electricity at peak times has increased, while the amount of power availability has changed little in these areas since Winter Storm Elliott caused energy emergencies across the area, the report found. The authors warned on the call with the reporters that a winter storm of similar scale in the region can result in a repeat of the outages that disrupted last year's holiday season for millions. The report concluded the power grid operators are struggling to bring on new generation and weatherized equipment at the pace required to meet the challenges of increased demand and the more extreme and unpredictable weather patterns. This forecast again shows that our nation faces looming grid reliability challenges while demand for electricity continues to soar, said Jim Matheson, CEO of the National Rural Electric Corporation Association, which represents 900 local electricity providers. That's unacceptable and should be cause for concern for all Americans. The rapid addition of renewable energy onto the grid presents its own challenges, the report warned, which could inflame debate about the extent to which the energy transition disrupts reliability. NERC officials noted, for example, that the installation of large volumes of new solar power in Texas will do little to help the state throughout the winter, as demand tends to peak after sunrise. But NERC's findings make clear that problems with fossil fuel generation bear a large share of responsibility for the wobbling state of the nation's electricity system. The Matheson Group argued the report exposes the risk of tough new emission rules proposed by the Environmental Protection Agency, which they say will further destabilize the system. Matheson warned the EPA proposal could have a grave consequence for an already stressed grid. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This report that came out from the North American Electrical Reliability Corporation is basically saying that our politicians and our state and local officials in all of these states have done very little to go ahead and improve the power grid in many of these 15 states that this report just cited. That's why it's even more important than ever to ensure that you have the prepping items that you need to go ahead and survive a dark winter, if you will. And if some of you don't, some of you are new to my channel or new to the prepping world, when you hear the term dark winter, it usually means a winter that the power grid has failed, and it's an extended period of time. It's not just a couple of days. It's usually an extended period of time. You're talking weeks, if not months. So, and it is documented that when the power goes out during a winter time frame, that a lot more people tend to die than in the summertime. That's just a statistical fact, even here in America. So it is very, very important that you go ahead and make sure that your chances of survivability, if the grid does go down, is greatly increased by getting some of the preps that you need. get yourself something like this Mr. Buddy heater. It's very cost effective. I think I only paid $70 for mine. You can utilize the 1 pound propane tanks. Mr. Buddy does sell a hose adapter that has a filter that you can hook up, and it hooks directly onto 20 pound propane tanks, which will greatly extend the usage of these. Get some food, get some water, get a way to heat your food and water. Get extra wool blankets, get a tent. That way, if you do have an issue this winter with the power grid going down, that you can create microclimate. Make sure you have wool blankets. Make sure that you understand that your clothing can also increase your ability to stay warm by utilizing the layering method. All of these things, if you go ahead and do, will greatly improve your odds of surviving a dark winter. All right, YouTube, that's about it for today. Go ahead, and if you like this content, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, share with your friends and family. Please go ahead and leave in the comments what you like, what you don't like. And also let me know what you're doing for this winter to prep up to make sure that you get to the other side of a SHTF Dark Winter scenario. All right, YouTube, this is Gunnery Sergeant 67. I'm out.